Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala. Come on, come on, come on.
25 minutes before 9 o'clock. Beautiful looking Tuesday morning. Thank you for tuning into The Source, WOCA, where it is currently 75 degrees. Temperatures climbing to the lower 90s today with a bit of rain in the forecast. Right now, it's time for NewsBites. This is the portion of AM Ocala Live during which Robin and I will read the news to you from the different news agencies that we subscribe to here at The Source. We will not paraphrase. We will not change the wording. We will simply only read the first few paragraphs. That's our way of shortening the story, giving you the gist of the story without getting into the details. You can go online and read the details for yourself by going to the websites associated with the news agencies. The first one is from abcnews.com. The Army's main public website has temporarily been taken down as a protective measure after it was compromised by what appears to be an internet hack by supporters of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, according to a statement issued by U.S. officials today. The website does not contain any public information of U.S. Army soldiers and is the Army's main site for news and public information. A statement issued by Brigadier General Malcolm B. Frost, the Chief of Army Public Affairs, says, quote, "Today, an element of the Army.mil service provider's content was compromised. After this came to our attention, the Army took appropriate preventive measures to ensure there was no breach of Army data by taking down the website temporarily," unquote. A Defense Department official confirmed that there were two statements that appeared to reference the conflict in Syria.
President Barack Obama yesterday said that the Supreme Court should reject a challenge that would cripple his health care program. He ventured that the justices should not have taken it up in the first place. The Supreme Court is expected to rule later this month on the challenge, which argues that people who buy insurance through the Federal Health Care Exchange rather than state exchanges should not receive subsidies. Even if the technical language of the law could have been clearer, well-established legal precedent holds that the court should follow the intent of Congress, and Congress clearly meant for the federal exchange to be subsidized also, reported by MSNBC.
From USA Today, character actress and philanthropist Mary Ellen Trainor, who appeared in the Goonies and Lethal Weapon films, has died. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy confirmed yesterday that Trainor, a longtime friend, passed away at home in Montecito, California on May 20th. She was 62 years old. Trainor got her start in the film business as a producer's assistant on a number of movies, including the 1979 Steven Spielberg film titled 1941, which her eventual husband, director Robert Zemeckis, wrote after the couple married in 1960. Zemeckis cast Trainor in her first film, Romancing the Stone. I'm sorry, 1980, that would be 1980. Romancing the Stone as the kidnapped sister of Kathleen Turner's character.
The Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that a motorcyclist has died from injuries sustained in a two-vehicle accident at the intersection of Southwest 100th Avenue and Southwest 155th Street yesterday afternoon. The deceased man is not identified in the report. Marion County Fire Rescue said a woman driving the other vehicle was taken to a hospital for treatment. Florida Highway Patrol troopers are investigating the crash. No other information was provided, reported by the Florida Highway Patrol.
From the New York Post, a Muslim televangelist has advised male followers to stop masturbating because it will leave their hands pregnant in the afterlife. Turkish preacher Mujahid Sihan Han told viewers that masturbation was forbidden in Islam, saying, quote, "One hadith states that those who have sexual intercourse with their hands will find their hands pregnant in the afterlife, complaining against them to God over its rights," unquote. He said during his program on private television station 2000 TV, according to the Hurriyet Daily News, the self-styled televangelist made the astonishing comments in response to a viewer's question during a May 24th show. The viewer said he, quote, kept masturbating although he was married, unquote, including during his holy pilgrimage to Mecca, known as Umrah. According to the Hurriyet Daily News, a news source for Turkey and the region, the Quran does not make a clear reference to masturbation, and the authenticity of many hadiths is questionable, unquote. Han, who has more than 12,000 followers on Twitter, was mercilessly mocked on social media after newspapers published his TV fatwa.
Wear gloves. No pregnancy. Oh, gosh. Canadian geese in the state of Michigan have tested positive for a lethal strain of bird flu, bringing the worst outbreak of the disease in U.S. history to a 21st state. 3 young geese collected in Sterling Heights, Michigan, about 20 miles north of Detroit, were infected with the highly pathogenic H5N2 flu strain. The state is now focusing on preventing the spread of the disease to poultry. Director Keith Craig from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources says that nationwide, more than 46 million chickens and turkeys have been killed by the disease or culled to prevent its spread. Most are in Iowa, the top U.S. egg-producing state, and Minnesota, the nation's top turkey-producing state. Michigan is the 21st state to confirm a case of bird flu since late 2014, and the 6th to detect it only in wild or free-ranging birds. 15 states have found the virus in poultry flocks, unquote, reported by Reuters.
From the Washington Post, the world has witnessed the videos of Islamic State members destroying ancient statues and other artifacts because they are believed to represent idolatry or pre-Islamic religions, but ISIS also is selling some antiquities to fund its operations. ISIS made a great show of destroying some historic sites, such as those in the city of Hatra. Other areas ruled by ISIS, which runs like a government, are being excavated under license, with the artifacts being sold on the black market. The group is earning tens of millions of dollars through illegal sales. According to the Washington Post, there has been a spike in the trade since ISIS began taking over areas rich with smaller antiquities last June, according to Iraq's Deputy Minister for Antiquities and Heritage.
Marion County, Florida Public Schools has issued a news release to remind the community that it offers nutritious meals to students in its summer meal program. The Summer Food Service program provides free, nutritionally balanced meals to any student who wants to eat. Last year in Marion County, the program served nearly 133,600 meals, broken down to 37,554 breakfasts, 69,854 lunches, 24,111 afternoon snacks, and 2,080 supper meals. This is a 24% increase over the summer of 2013. The Marion County District anticipates up to 76,000 additional meals this summer. 10 additional sites are added to the lineup. This year, beginning June the 8th through July 30th, 50 locations will provide meals on various schedules from 23 central school kitchens and 27 satellite locations throughout Marion County. No application, no income information is necessary to qualify. Children simply show up to eat. For more information, please contact the Marion County School Food Service Office at 352-671-4190, reported by Marion County Public Schools.
From CNN.com, Albert Woodfox, who has spent more than 4 decades in solitary confinement for a crime he's long argued he didn't commit, might soon set foot outside prison. U.S. District Judge James J. Brady ruled yesterday that Woodfox, who is now 68 years old, should be released from prison and should not face a third trial due to exceptional circumstances, including his age and poor health and the court's lack of confidence in the state to provide a fair third trial. Woodfox is the last imprisoned member of the so-called Angola Three, a group of prisoners who were accused in the 1972 killing of guard Brent Miller at the Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola. Woodfox, who was originally imprisoned on an armed robbery conviction, has said he had tried to point out injustices at the prison and was targeted and wrongfully accused because of his activism as a Black Panther. We need to take a little break, catch up on the weather, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident for today. Intervals of clouds and sunshine with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, mainly during the afternoon hours, the high 87 to 91. Partly cloudy tonight with a shower or thunderstorm around, especially along the coast. The overnight low 68 to 72. Partly sunny tomorrow with a thunderstorm or two in the area, high 84 to 88. And for Thursday, partly sunny, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Fidgeting can make it easier to lose weight. Many couples think that once they're married, all their issues with in-laws will disappear, but Steinorth says a marriage magnifies these problems, so if you're having family clashes with potential in-laws, it's best to resolve those issues before you get married. Just like couples can take out a loan for a house or a new car, there's been a huge surge in loan companies catering to wannabe parents.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
All right, 12 minutes before 9 o'clock, let's return to NewsBites. The next story is from CNN. Dueling narratives are emerging about whether race played a role in a Texas officer's handling of black teenagers at a pool party, but who those narratives come from. But who those narratives come from may be surprising. A black resident says race did not play a role. A white resident says it did. A 7-minute video shot by a witness captures much of the confrontation Friday. It shows McKinney police officer Eric Casebolt cursing at several black teenagers, pulling a 14-year-old bikini-clad girl to the ground and kneeling on her back. Casebolt also unholsters his gun and chases teenage boys as they approached him while he is trying to keep the girl down. Brandon Brooks, the 15-year-old white teen who shot the video, said there's no doubt race was a factor. He said the officer was targeting black teens at the scene. I was one of the only white people in the area when that was happening, Brandon told CNN affiliate KDAF. He said you can see in part of the video where he tells us to sit down and he kind of like skips over me and tells all my African-American friends to go sit down, unquote. Brandon said the quarrel that drew police to the pool party didn't even involve most of the teens Casebolt was going after. It was a fight between a mom and a girl, which had nothing to do with all the other kids, he told KDAF. Brandon said he was unnerved to see his friend tackled and pressed to the ground. I think she was running her mouth and she has freedom of speech, and that was very uncalled for him to throw her to the ground, he said. Rather than read the whole story, I'll just give you the gist of it. The other opinion here is from a 43-year-old A man named Bennett Embry, described as a black resident who saw things differently. Embry has lived at Craig Beach, a planned community in McKinney, for 8 years. He said it's a nice place, racially diverse, people get along there. He said when he was at the community pool Friday, a crowd of teenagers showed up, even though Craig Ranch's strict homeowner association rules prohibit bringing more than 2 guests to the pool. He said it has nothing to do with race, so 2 different opinions.
A flying saucer has been spotted over the Pacific, not a UFO exactly, since it is identified. It belongs to NASA. After several delays, NASA yesterday initiated the test of a saucer-shaped craft that could hold the key to a future human mission to Mars. An enormous balloon lifted the test vehicle carrying the disc-like low-density supersonic decelerator from the test site at the U.S. Navy's Pacific Missile Range facility on Kauai, Hawaii. There were cheers in the control room as the balloon began lifting the vessel. It is a slow way up. It was expected to take more than 2 hours for the balloon to reach the target height of 120,000 feet, more than 20 miles above the Earth, reported by CNN.
Also from CNN, the magnitude of Kmart's downfall is stunning. Once one of America's leading discount retailers, Kmart raked in $37 billion in sales in its 2000 fiscal year, and last year Kmart registered only $12.1 billion in sales. That is a dramatic 67% sales plunge in a little more than a decade. Americans have likely noticed the decline in their towns. Kmart had 2,165 stores in the year 2000. Now it has only 979 stores. Compare that with Target, one of the biggest beneficiaries of Kmart's crumble. During the same period, Target's sales nearly doubled to $72.6 billion. Even Kmart's sister brand, Sears, looks slightly better, with its revenue falling only 54% to $17 billion last fiscal year.
Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy, a likely candidate in the 2017 French presidential elections, said yesterday that while the Middle East, quote, peace today is not within reach, it is incumbent upon Israel to take the initiative and try to move something forward on the diplomatic process. We in France like Israel when Israel takes initiative, when Israel innovates and is a leader, not when Israel is immobile and paralyzed, unquote. Sarkozy made the remarks in a warm speech at the IDC Herzliya conference following a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Sarkozy, who earlier in the day came out unequivocally against boycotting Israel, said that Israel's economic progress is perhaps its best victory, reported by the Jerusalem Post.
And from the Washington Times, President Obama scoffed at the individual district court judge who blocked his deportation amnesty, insisting yesterday that he still believes his policy is legal despite repeated legal setbacks, and vowing to push ahead where he can on aiding illegal immigrants. But Mr. Obama said he'll abide by Judge Andrew S. Hanen's injunction, which has since been tentatively upheld by a federal appeals court, because that's the way the system works. Quote, even if it's an individual district court judge who is making this determination, we've got to go through the process to challenge it, and until we get clarity there, I don't want to bring people in, have them apply, and jump through a lot of hoops only to have it deferred and delayed further, unquote. That quote from the president, which he said during a press conference at the conclusion of the G7 summit.
It's week 2 of the special session of the Florida legislature. Lawmakers are feuding over funding for Enterprise Florida, the group that tries to lure new businesses to the Sunshine State. The head of Enterprise Florida says it's shameful that lawmakers will not give them more money. It appears that House negotiators changed their offer to the Senate. That drew an angry response from Senator Jack Latvala of Clearwater. Latvala demanded to know why the House had suddenly changed gears, but nobody was giving him a straight answer. Latvala and his entire team of Senate negotiators apparently became so frustrated that they walked out of the conference meeting. Senate leaders say despite the events of yesterday, they are convinced they can hammer out a state budget, reported by the Florida News Network.
From CNN, a photograph has emerged showing the lioness that mauled American tourist Catherine Chappell Chapel moments before the deadly attack. In the photo, the wildcat's huge paws are clamped onto the side of the white safari Jeep in which Chapel was a passenger. Almost as tall as the Jeep on her hind legs, she appears to be forcing her muzzle into the back window. Chapel, who was 29 years old, was taking photos of a pride last week at Lion Park in South Africa's Gauteng province when one of the animals leaped up against the vehicle and fatally attacked her. According to accounts of the attack, she was in South Africa on a volunteer mission to protect wildlife.
With the rise of using non-invasive prenatal testing for Down syndrome and other conditions, researchers have found that they also can reliably detect early-stage maternal cancers with the same test. During a study on the efficacy of non-invasive prenatal testing for fetal genetic disorders, researchers detected genetic abnormalities in 3 women that resembled cancer. After further testing, they discovered early-stage ovarian carcinoma, follicular lymphoma, and Hodgkin's lymphoma, reported by UPI.
From CNN, a second lawsuit has been filed against Caitlyn Jenner in connection with a fatal 4-car accident that happened in February on California's Pacific Coast Highway. The personal injury lawsuit was filed yesterday in Los Angeles Superior Court by Jessica Marie Steindorf, a talent manager who works in Hollywood. Steindorf was driving a 2010 Toyota Prius that was part of a chain reaction crash in Malibu on February 7th. Her lawsuit claims that Jenner operated a vehicle negligently, carelessly, recklessly, and wantonly and caused the collision. It refers to Jenner as Bruce Jenner, a.k.a. Caitlyn Jenner.
Miley Cyrus was able to combine 2 of her favorite things for the cover of Paper Magazine's summer 2015 issue, animals and getting naked. Miley's covered in mud and goes without underwear in the racy shot by photographer Paola Kudaki, in which she cuddles up with a pig. In a preview of the upcoming article that will hit newsstands June 22nd, Miley talks about her love for showing some skin. Her quote, "I was doing a show 2 nights ago. I was wearing butterfly nipple pasties and butterfly wings. How am I so lucky?" Unquote. The Wrecking Ball singer actually teased the unconventional cover on Sunday, Instagramming a shot of her flaunting her cleavage in nothing but a white robe while wearing a pig mask. The Paper Mag interview will focus on Miley's Happy Hippie Foundation, her nonprofit organization dedicated to helping homeless and LGBT kids, reported by Fox News.
From the Associated Press, Ingeborg Salem Rappaport was not allowed to defend her doctoral thesis in 1938 under the Nazis because she was part Jewish. Now, 77 years later, she has completed all of the requirements and is becoming Germany's oldest recipient of a doctorate at the age of 102. The neonatologist, a specialist in caring for newborns, last month passed an oral exam and is receiving her doctorate today at the University of Hamburg. The university says that cannot undo the injustice she suffered, but can contribute to rehabilitating the darkest chapter of German history. Salem Rappaport emigrated to the United States in 1938 and worked as a pediatrician before moving with her husband, a socialist like herself, to East Berlin in 1952. The mother of 4 was the first head of the neonatology at Berlin's Charité Hospital.
Hackers with the Syrian Electronic Army are claiming they infiltrated the official website of the U.S. Army yesterday and posted a message that appeared to disparage U.S. strategy to combat extremism in the Middle East. This is a quote from the Army website's homepage. Your commanders admit that they are training the people they have sent you to die fighting, unquote. This was a pop-up message on army.mil. The Army website's homepage was unavailable yesterday afternoon following the hack. Army Brigadier General Malcolm B. Frost is quoted as saying, "Today an element of the Army.mil service provider's content was compromised. After this came to our attention, the Army took appropriate preventive measures to ensure there was no breach of Army data by taking down the website temporarily," unquote, reported by CBS.
And from the Thomson Reuters News news agency, even the astronomical price markups that consumers regularly pay for wine in restaurants pale beside those in some U.S. hospitals. The price for procedures is often 10 times the cost, according to a study published yesterday in the journal Health Affairs. Of the 50 hospitals with the highest markups, 49 are for-profit, including 25 owned by community health systems. One example is the charge for a lipid panel blood test, which was $10 at one California hospital and $10,169 in another. That's all the time we have for News Bites. Robin, how many stories today?
22.
We'll be right back. Carol Ann Baldwin is next.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. Former House Speaker Dennis Hastert scheduled to be arraigned today in a Chicago courtroom.
Hastert is accused of violating federal banking laws by structuring the withdrawal of almost $1 million in cash and lying to the FBI about the withdrawals. The federal indictment accuses the former House Speaker of agreeing to pay $3.5 million in hush money to keep a person from his hometown silent about so-called prior misconduct.
Fox Radio's John Decker. There's a $100,000 reward out as two escaped killers remain on the loose. Richard Matt and David Sweat broke out of prison near the Canadian border. Daniel Tarsia's brother, a sheriff's deputy, was killed by Sweat, shot 16 times.
Well, he's dangerous. He's absolutely dangerous. He did my brother brutally.
Police believe the men had help escaping. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Mobil 1 synthetic oil delivers peak performance in any engine. And now it's just $5.99 a quart at Napa. So whether you're pushing a four-banger, rolling a straight six, or running a V-something that rattles Grandpa's dentures and frightens small children, treat it right with Mobil 1 from Napa. Only $5.99 a quart. Conquer the job with Napa know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 6/30/15.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Is your credit headed in the wrong direction? If so, Florida Credit Union can help turn it around. If the signs are reading missing payments, maxing out cards, or borrowing from financing companies, it's time to steer your credit to safety. Pull into a Florida Credit Union today and let us help you map out a personalized credit management plan. Get a free credit report analysis and advice to help you consolidate wisely. A better plan can get you to a better place. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy. never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Loco Graphics would like to invite you to their second location on 200 next to Sonny's Barbecue. They are officially open to help you out with all your sign, vehicle wraps, and printing needs. Visit them and mention this ad for free business cards. Need a logo? We've got you covered. From business cards all the way to menus and flyers. Now 2 locations to better serve you. On Merricamp, half a mile east from Forest High School, and on 200 by Sonny's Barbecue. Loco Graphics, impacting your